Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing some reasons why some men leave the women that have suffered with them and go for someone else. Have you ever wondered, after all this woman have been through with him, this woman have been with him for 5 years, 10 years, and now he has money, he abandoned her and went for someone else. Now here is the shocker. Let me shock you a little. The single fact that you have been there with him in his lowest of moments does not guarantee you an automatic ticket to his loyalty when things get better for him. Yes. So guys, before you come for me, just calm down, okay? I want you to learn the act of listening to understand rather than listening to argue. Okay? And I also want you to learn the act of not just jumping into conclusion. Yes. So by the end of this video, you would be able to understand the reason why I made this particular statement, and just maybe you might see that there is some sense inside the nonsense. Okay? You'll be able to kind of justify this statement I just made. If you have been on this particular table, or you know someone that have been on this table before, this is the questions you should be asking. Or this is the question you should be answering. Now, there's this thing about you dishing out some character, some attitude, some mannerisms, and with time you might tend to forget that, oh, I did this, I did that. But you see, the receiver never forgets. The receiver never forgets, no matter what. The receiver never forgets. So when you dish out those attitudes and character, you might tend to forget with time that this is how you acted, or this is what you did. Okay? So now, a lot of ladies that have suffered with men over time, they have actually been there physically. They've been there with this man physically, but they are not there in person. Their mind is not there. So the question you should be asking is, how well were you able to manage this man when he was his lowest and lowest of the lowest? How well did you treat him right? How well did you respect him as the head of the home that he is supposed to be? How well did you regard him? How well did you treat him? Did you disrespect him? Did you dishonor him? Did you disregard him? Just how well were you able to manage him in his lowest of the moments? Have you been nagging him non-stop? Have you been comparing him to other men outside? This man is doing this. This man is doing that. Have you been doing that? Some women will even take it a step further to rubbish the little he's managing to do, the small thing he's managing to achieve and manage to bring. They will just rubbish it and trash it down the mud. Have you treated him rightly? Have you been bringing disrespect to the table? Simply because he cannot afford to meet up with the basic needs or his responsibilities as a man. You trash him, you rubbish him, you disrespect him, you insult him, you give him attitudes, you give him these characters that you display that even you cannot stand them. You talk to him the way you like, the way you please. You insult him in presence of others. If there's anything a man values much more than anything, is his ego. You trash his ego, you bring it down, you demoralize him. You push him into depression. Some men are going into things that ordinarily they will not find themselves doing, simply because of the pressure that they can no longer bear. They just want to meet up, they just want to hit it big and just sort all this rubbish at once. They will end up doing things that normally they will not find themselves doing. How well have you treated him? Just how well have you been able to motivate him? Have you ever tried encouraging him? Have you ever tried motivating him? Have you supported him through the process? How well have you talked to him? Have you sat him down and tried to encourage him that I know you can do this? I know you can do this. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. The future is bright. There is something bigger out there for you. Just keep pushing. Or each time he goes out to face a lot of challenges out there, the scorching sun is hitting him non-stop. And he come back home to you. Your welcome package is the nagging, complaints non-stop. You are driving him crazy. You are pushing him into depression already. How well have you been able to manage him in this lowest of the low? It matters a whole lot. It matters a whole lot. You cannot disrespect him. You cannot disregard him, dishonor him, insult him, disgrace him. Let him feel less of himself. And now, he finally made it big. Things are better now. The money is there, the finance is there, the connections are there. And you are wondering why he suddenly realized that you are not the marriage material for him. And you are wondering, after all you have been through with him, he's now leaving you for someone else. Have you ever taken time to pray for him? Have you encouraged him? Have you motivated him? You cannot disrespect him, disregard him, and trash him, and expect him to now be loyal to you now that the finance is there. He suddenly realized that you are not the marriage material for him. He suddenly realized that he can no longer deal with you. He suddenly realized that he can't cope with you any longer. Because if tomorrow he returns to the low, you will still dish out this attitude. You will still treat him with disrespect. So he wouldn't want to settle for you. There is difference between a woman that has been there for him physically and a woman that has been there in person with your mind. You were present there. And not just being present physically, just occupying a space there. So ladies, if you know that during those times of the struggle, you cannot deal, you cannot cope, just take a walk. Just take a walk if you know you cannot cope, so that he understands that, okay, because I'm not having now, she's leaving. It's fine, it's good. At least he will pick up the remaining pieces of himself and find his way forward. So you don't push him further into depression. You don't push him further with so much pressure and push him into things that he will not ordinarily do. If you can't cope, just leave already. So he finds his way around, and not being there and adding to the pain, adding to the troubles, adding to the heartache, adding to the frustrations. A man that cannot provide for his family, a man that cannot take responsibility for the basic needs of his woman, is already a frustrated man. That man is already a depressed man. So you cannot come and be adding to his frustrations. You cannot come and add to his depression already. So if you know you can't deal, take a walk already and allow him pick the pieces of himself and fix his life. So that not tomorrow, when he finds his feet around and things are better, he will dump you for someone else. And then you will start shouting that after all you've been through with him, you have suffered with him, you were there for 5 years when he had nothing. Those 5 years, can you rate them? Are they years of frustrations? Are they years of disrespect and dishonor? Ask yourself. Ladies, if you want to be there for him, be there for him. If you want to be there through the process, be there, fully be there, fully be there. Don't just be there in person. Be there if you want to be there. When you are there, know you are there. Okay? When you are there, understand you are there. And I also understand that there are some men, women will be there for them. They will be good to them. They will suffer with them. And when the man finally finds his feet, he will now realize that you are no longer in my class. I can no longer cope. The standard, the class had changed. You no longer fit into the standard. I understand that there are situations like that. If a man treats you in that way, leave him for karma. Karma never forgets address. Karma never forgets an address. Leave him to karma. But if you want to be there through his process, through the struggle, be there, fully be there. Fully be there. Don't cause him more pain. Please, fully be there if you want to be there. So that by the time he's back to his feet, he will look back and say, thank God for this woman. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for the support all these years. And not the other way around. Okay, so this is it for this video. So if you find this video useful and interesting, kindly give this video a thumbs up. Do well to share to friends and family. If you are seeing me for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button to join this growing community. Do well to turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I drop another video. If you have watched to this point, thank you so much. You are the real MVP. And see you in my next video. Stay blessed.